Today's workout is a 10-minute postpartum pelvic floor workout, advanced level. This workout will help you connect to and strengthen your pelvic floor and deep core muscles. It's advanced, so make sure you've done the first 2 workouts in this series before moving on to this one. All you need is a mat. Let's get started. Hey mamas, welcome to today's workout. We've got our 10-minute advanced pelvic floor workout. So make sure you've done the beginner and intermediate version for several weeks before coming to this one. We're gonna start today's workout back on our hands and knees with our bird dog, and we're gonna advance that movement, lifting opposite arm and leg, and then extending to the corner, bring it forward and down, other side. So we extend, open to the corners, bring it forward and down. So as we open, we wanna make sure those hips are square. We're keeping that core engaged. Leg is hip height the whole time, arm is shoulder height the whole time. Make sure, again, that opposite hand is right under the shoulder, so we keep that weight distributed in a way to optimally work the core and stay balanced. At this level, it's our most advanced version of the workout, so I'm assuming you really know how to connect to that pelvic floor and deep core with your breath. So I'm not gonna coach a lot on that, but if you need reminders, make sure you come back to those beginner and intermediate versions or my short video on how to engage your core. All right, bringing back that hydrant. We're gonna come to a hydrant position, lift the knee, engage pelvic floor, kick it to the back corner, bring the knee back in and release. Same side again. So we lift the knee, engage pelvic floor, kick it back, in and down. Again, you can reset the breath every time or keep it engaged. You know how to do that by now. And again, as we bring that knee up, we want to keep everything square to the floor as we kick it back. The goal is not to kick super high or super hard. Just control by squeezing your butt and driving through the heel. You're gonna feel your weight shift a little bit, and that's totally normal. Just try not to collapse into that opposite side. And again, we wanna move just with control and intention here. Whew, really gonna go after those glutes today. This is our most advanced version, and we can feel it. All right, shift back for a second. We're gonna do the same thing, other side. Let's go. So a lot of these moves, again, are building on those first 2 workouts. Make sure you've done those for several weeks. And then you can find we are just adding movements, adding components of instability to intensify the movements, but still building on what you know. And that way you can continue to learn that skill of engaging your pelvic floor and deep core with some more challenging movements. And we don't just do this for exercise sake, it's for everyday life and just picking up your kids, that heavy car seat, bending over again and again as you have to lower that crib. That's the hardest part for me, I think. Dropping my baby in the crib gently. All right, we're gonna move on to a tabletop bridge. Go over, hips under shoulders, hands under shoulders. We're gonna lift, driving up through those heels, engage that pelvic floor at the top, and then bring the hips back down under those shoulders. Your fingertips can go forward or fan out here, I should say. But you want them in just a comfortable place for your wrists. And then we are gonna drive those hips up and then all the way back under those shoulders. That's gonna get you that full range of motion for that pelvic floor. And as you lift, again, we're engaging that pelvic floor, pulling the belly button in toward the spine, squeezing the glutes to work that posterior chain. And you're not gonna get a full tabletop position here. So you might not totally get your hips up super, super high. That's not the point. The point is more to keep that work again in the glutes, the deep core, and release. All right, we're gonna keep that bridge. We're gonna add onto it. So we're gonna stay up in the bridge this time and walk it in, forward and back. Let's do it together. Forward and back. So the goal here, again, is to keep those hips stable. They're gonna shift a little bit, but as best as you can when you're walking out and in. Alternate the foot you lead with every time here. And again, make sure you're staying connected to that deep core and pelvic floor. If you find you're losing that connection, just come down, reset, go back into it when you're ready. It's definitely more challenging to keep those hips up. They're gonna wanna drop, they're gonna wanna wobble back and forth. Again, totally fine. Just do what you can. And release. We're gonna go back to that clam motion. This time we're gonna do a pulse with it. So line up the elbow, the hips, and the heels. We're gonna drive up, lift, engage that pelvic floor, open the knee, keep it open, and pulse. We're gonna stay up the whole time if you can, out and in, just a little pulse. Opening up as deep as you can, getting into that side glute and just dropping a few inches. We don't wanna completely release that tension. And again, we're lifting through that underside of the waist, so you should feel it here and in that core and pelvic floor. Lots of components. Keep breathing, stay connected. Again, if you need to reset anytime, keep those heels together. Keep that shoulder away from your ear. Just a few seconds left. We've got this. All right, other side. Hopefully you can't hear my stomach growling. Gonna have to edit that out. Other side. That's real life, you guys. I'm hungry. Lift, engage. Open and close. I have to shoot these during nap time, so that's usually around lunchtime. So I decide to wait till after they're done to film and just get hungry sometimes. Okay, make sure you're staying connected and lifted, so you're feeling it in that bottom and top glute and the core and the obliques. We're getting everything here. All those muscles in the core. Breathe into it. Again, keeping that core set the whole time if you're staying up. The most challenging variation of this, even more challenging, add a band if you've mastered this one, but I think this is good enough for today. We're almost at the end. Done. Okay, now swivel around. We're gonna do some bear crawls. So we're gonna back up to the end of the mat, go forward and back. Engage that pelvic floor, lift, opposite foot, opposite hand. Walk it forward to the end of the mat and then walk back. I'm doing 4 forward and 4 back, but up to you how much space you have. Opposite hand moves with the leg, with the foot. Keep that hand under the shoulder as you shift your weight forward and back. Keep that knee close to the ground. If you need to, drop the knees, crawl like a baby for a few. Still working that core and pelvic floor, just less intense. We're more than halfway there. And it's a good mental exercise. You're working on that coordination. I feel like it also gives you a greater appreciation for like why it takes your baby so long to learn how to crawl, right? It's a coordination thing. Release. All right, we're almost to the end. Going back to that forearm side plank this time. So we're gonna bring that elbow in line with the hip, lift and pulse, extending that top leg, tiny pulse. So we did those hip dips last time. This is a smaller movement, it's just a pulse. So top of the range, 1 inch up and down. Drive through that bottom hip, push through the forearm, reach up. I feel like that always helps. Think like someone's pulling your fingertips up through the ceiling. Staying engaged that whole time in the core and pelvic floor. If you need to, release and come back up. Really getting that burn into the side glutes. Almost there, last 10 seconds, stay lifted. And release. All right, this is it. This is the last one. Swivel around. You can keep both legs bent if you need to, but if you can't, extend that top leg, reach, pulse. Next level would be extend that bottom leg too, if you're ready for it. But again, do what you can do well, do what you can control. You want to feel challenged, but you also want it to feel manageable in terms of can you control and maintain good technique. After this, it doesn't stop here though. I have more postpartum ab workouts on my channel in addition to my postpartum ab program, advanced postpartum core sculpting workouts that would be great to throw in after you finish this one. And that's it, we are done. That was your advanced version of the pelvic floor series. So I hope you have enjoyed this series. Do this one several times before advancing or moving on to other workouts. And make sure to pair it with some of my other postpartum strength, cardio, and HIIT workouts for overall postpartum fitness and for best results. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments and let me know what other series you would like to see on my channel for our next workout together.